You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm josemonkey, and I find people who ask to be found. Guys, this one was super hard and there were very few clues, but I found it. So what can we see? This video, which is 7 minutes long by the way, shows some people playing volleyball. It was recorded at night and the courts are illuminated by these overhead lights that we see. And even though the video is 7 minutes long, there really isn't a lot to see. It's basically the same view, just kind of moving back and forth following the ball. And trust me, I watched the whole thing looking for clues. We can see that there's a building over on the right-hand side, and I also noticed that there was a palm tree over there. We can see that there are several volleyball courts here. It looked to me like there were probably 3 directly in front of the person with the camera, and maybe 3 more to the right of that. So I started trying to sketch out a picture of what this might look like. A little bit later in the video, the camera pans way to the left, and we can see that there are actually at least 2 more volleyball courts over there. So I updated my picture accordingly. I noted a few other details. We can see that in between the row of courts directly in front of the person with the camera and the ones to the right, that there were some rectangular pavilions there. I also noticed that over on the left in the background, we could see 2 gazebo-looking structures, one that was kind of green and yellow and the other was just sort of brown. And the person who's recording the video is standing under some kind of green structure, but we can barely see it. I also made note of some of the details on the volleyball nets themselves. We can see that the trim around the nets looks like kind of a dark blue, and the padding on the posts is red. This was the final picture I drew to help me try to figure out what this place looked like. You can see the volleyball courts and all the different structures that I observed. Without any other information, I didn't really know where to start looking. I thought maybe if I just started looking for images of volleyball courts, I might find it, which was kind of silly. But I did a bunch of Google image searches for volleyball courts, and I actually tried going on Instagram and just searching for volleyball and looking at different volleyball-related hashtags. And guys, I discovered that many of these accounts that use volleyball and beach volleyball hashtags might not be about the sport. Anyway, that wasn't really helping. So I thought maybe I should just start looking at actual volleyball courts and trying to find one that matched. But I didn't know where to look, so I just picked Florida because, I don't know, I figured maybe they play beach volleyball in Florida. So I just brought up Google Maps and searched for volleyball courts in Florida, and I started looking at them one at a time. And that was not going very well. After I did that for a while, I decided, well, maybe I should go look somewhere else. So I tried Southern California instead. And I did the same thing and looked at a whole bunch of different locations. At that point, I had to stop and tell myself that this was a silly approach and I needed some more information. So I did something I don't usually do, but I took the person's TikTok username and I decided to Google for that plus volleyball to see if maybe they posted volleyball pictures somewhere else. And I got exactly 0 results for that. So I tried removing volleyball to see if I'd get anything just for that username. And I got 2 results. One was their TikTok account, and the other was a Gab profile. The Gab profile had almost nothing on it, just like 4 or 5 posts. But the posts were all about Texas politics. Not about any specific county or city in Texas, mind you, just Texas broadly. Now, I wasn't even sure if this was the same person, but I didn't have any other leads, so I figured I'll start looking in Texas. And so I did the same thing. I just brought up a map of Texas, started searching for volleyball courts and looking at them one at a time. I was not feeling particularly hopeful at this point, but I was kind of invested, so I kept going. I think I'd been at it for at least 2 hours over the course of a couple different days when I had looked for this. Just when I was starting to get tired of looking at satellite pictures of volleyball courts, I saw this location. The general layout of this place looked like what I had imagined. I did note that there were 4 courts where I expected to see 3 in the row all the way on the right, but I probably just miscounted. But everything else about it looked right. I could see all the structures where I expected to see them. There was even a structure where I thought the person with the camera had been standing. So I figured I'd check it out. But guys, there was no Google Street View anywhere even close that would give me a view of this. So I crossed my fingers hoping that maybe the Google Maps entry for this location had some photos I could use to verify it. You're at the west end of the volleyball courts at Sports Garden DFW in Coppell, Texas. There were a bunch of photos and even some videos from this place that all helped me to confirm that this was in fact the right place. I could see those gazebo type structures from your video. The nets and the post matched what I saw in the video too. And I even spotted that green pavilion type thing that I assumed the person with the camera was standing under, right where I expected it to be. Guys, please like and share, and if anybody else would like me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, josemonkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.